Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 202 based on novel. So let's start. In the eyes of the black-haired man, Wang Lin's figure was infinitely large. The black-haired man even believed that no one in the All-Heaven star system would remain unharmed under that gaze, not even the head of the Thunder Celestial Temple. In particular, the disregard in those eyes made it seem as if the entire world was only a mere ant. This feeling made the black-haired man's body tremble. Given his pride, he had never felt respect like this toward anyone else. When the gap in power was not very large, he would be filled with thoughts of resisting. However, when he felt that someone's power was impossible to challenge and no one he had ever met could compare, he would only think about submitting. Dao sight. That gaze must be the legendary Dao sight. The black-haired man's terror was replaced with fanaticism. His mind was in shock and his body trembled. When he thought about the words, Dao sight, he was filled with excitement and horror. Mortals have dream sight and cultivators have Dao sight. However, this Dao sight was only a legend. The black-haired man only knew about rumors stating that a person had appeared in the All-Heaven star system countless years ago. This person used their own strength and used only one spell to defeat all of the second-step cultivators in the All-Heaven star system. Even among the second-step cultivators, aside from a limited few, most didn't even get to use one spell or magical treasure before they lost. That person was very disappointed and turned to leave. One person gathered the courage to ask the name of the spell, and what they got was one plain sentence. This spell is named Dao Sight. It wasn't created by me, and all of you are able to perform it. The black-haired man took a deep breath, immediately got off the thunder beast, and respectfully stood where he was. Now that he wasn't under Wang Lin's gaze, he became aware that there was another person sitting on an asteroid nearby. The black-haired man was startled when he saw the person. He naturally knew that it was a puppet. Then he saw the silver-horned thunder beast at the edge of the Thunder Lake. When he arrived, he was immediately caught by Wang Lin's gaze, so he didn't see anything else. Now that he had surveyed his surroundings, he was shocked once more. A silver-horned thunder beast? An illusory yin puppet? He is also a messenger of the Thunder Celestial Temple. The black-haired man somewhat didn't dare to believe all of this. He didn't doubt Wang Lin's identity, but he didn't think such a powerful person would be a messenger of the Thunder Celestial Temple. Before he could think too much, Wang Lin opened his eyes once more. His eyes were back to normal. Earlier, not only was the black-haired man shocked, Wang Lin was also startled by this. Could that feeling earlier have been the third step? Wang Lin silently pondered. That feeling was something that could only be obtained by chance and not asked for. However, his cultivation level was too low. This feeling was something he could keep in his heart but couldn't completely understand. The realistic scenes in the unreal dream opened the door for him to the third step. If anyone in the All-Heaven or Alliance star system knew about this, they would all go crazy for the bead. The biggest goal of people like the All-Seer was the third step. They were willing to do anything for this third step. For them, the third step was nowhere to be found. They were still advancing in the darkness and bitterly searching. However, Wang Lin was able to obtain such an unimaginable opportunity due to the heaven-defying bead. Sometimes, fate was just like this. After seeing the Dao from the third step, Wang Lin's future achievements were unpredictable and unimaginable. Junior is a level 2 messenger of the Thunder Celestial Temple, Shengong Hu. Shengong Hu greets Senior. The black-haired man immediately crawled on the ground in the position he used to acknowledge his teacher to show his respect. If an outsider had seen this, they would be extremely shocked. It has to be said that Shengong Hu was extremely proud and very vicious. Even among the messengers of the Thunder Celestial Temple, he was a difficult person, and most cultivation families wouldn't dare to provoke him. Most importantly, this person's talent was amazing. Even the Lord of the Thunder Celestial Temple once said that Shengong Hu's talent could be considered top 30 in the All-Heaven star system. This person hadn't cultivated for long, only 1,000 years. In only 1,000 years, he managed to reach the corporeal yang stage and was even at the peak. This kind of talent made people dread him even more than his viciousness. No one could determine what his limits were. Perhaps he could finally become a true second-step cultivator. Wang Lin didn't move. His expression was neutral as he calmly looked at Shengong Hu. After seeing a glimpse of the third step's Tao, although his cultivation level didn't increase, his mental strength went through a drastic change. The nature of his soul was different than before. At this moment, even if he stood before the All-Seer, he wouldn't feel any tension. It was just like mortals who had seen cultivators and their spells. When they looked at a mortal king, they were no longer afraid. Under Wang Lin's gaze, although Shengong Hu didn't feel the terror from before, he still trembled. That terrifying memory had been imprinted into his mind and wouldn't dissipate even in death. In reality, it was a great opportunity for Shengong Hu. If the All-Seer and company had no chance of obtaining the bead, then they would choose to personally experience it without any hesitation. Even the thunder beast next to him lowered its head and no longer had any pride on its face. Wang Lin withdrew his gaze and calmly asked, "What is it?" His current state of mind was still somewhat in the unreal dream, even his tone reflected this. Although Shengong Hu's cultivation was at the corporeal yang stage, his mind was greatly damaged right now. In particular, with his current timid heart, he would barely be able to use the power of an illusory yin cultivator. As for the thunder beast, it didn't even dare to raise its head. The gaze from earlier made it lose all its guts. Wang Lin's casual words suddenly stunned Shengong Hu. He quickly said, "Junior." Before he finished speaking, Wang Lin waved his right hand and said, "If there is nothing, then quickly leave." Wang Lin decided to carefully study the change in the heaven-defying bead. The power of the heaven-defying bead was far beyond his imagination. Just a gap in the door had allowed him to see the third step. If he opened it completely, Wang Lin's heart beat rapidly. He couldn't imagine what would happen. In addition, this dream caused his domain to improve. He wasn't far from the peak of the late stage of Ascendant, the end of the first step of cultivation. Shengong Hu felt like Wang Lin's attitude was very normal. A powerful person should be like this, as he was the one who disturbed this senior's cultivation. This senior had been kind by not killing him. Thinking about the gaze from before, Shengong Hu didn't doubt that this senior had spared him. Otherwise, he would have without a doubt died. His trembling mind and shock had transformed into fanaticism and reverence. After taking a deep breath, he said, "Senior, Junior is Shengong Hu, a member of the Shengong family in the southern domain. I'm a level 2 messenger of the Thunder Celestial Temple and a corporeal yang cultivator. I beg Senior to allow me to pledge to Senior." It wasn't that he wasn't able to see through Wang Lin's cultivation, but that terrifying gaze made him forget all of that. He even believed that this was a true powerful cultivator. If a powerful cultivator was hiding their cultivation level, they would make others believe that they were an ascendant cultivator. Pledge? Wang Lin was startled and looked at Shengong Hu. Shengong Hu quickly said, "Junior's cultivation is insufficient and I know I'm not qualified to pledge to Senior. However, Junior is extremely sincere, and moreover, I have a lot of families that are pledged to me, so Junior can help satisfy any of Senior's demands. Junior knows that such things are nothing in Senior's eyes, but I hope Senior will allow me to pledge to you given my sincerity." Wang Lin frowned. After pondering a bit, he shook his head. He couldn't use that spell again, and from one gaze, he could tell that this person was extremely prideful. If this person noticed something, it would cause unnecessary trouble. When Shengong Hu saw Wang Lin shake his head, he immediately said, "Senior, Junior is extremely sincere and will never regret this no matter how much time passes. As long as Senior is willing to give me a few pointers during my breakthrough, Junior is willing to give up a part of my Tao soul to pledge to Senior for 1,000 years. As he spoke, his hand formed a seal and then pointed at his forehead. A black light that contained his domain and Tao flew out of his head. In the All-Heaven Star system, a person who pledges can selectively surrender something. One's Tao soul was the most important thing that could be given. Once their Tao soul was controlled by someone else, although it wasn't the same as death, their Tao heart could be affected. The consequences had much longer-lasting significance. Giving his Tao soul showed Shengong Hu's sincerity. He was really frightened by Wang Lin's gaze. He had a vague feeling that if he gave up this chance today, he would regret it for the rest of his life. Shen Gonghu trusted his feeling a lot. A lot of important decisions in his life were made due to his feelings, and right now this feeling was very strong, which strengthened his belief. Looking at Shen Gonghu showing his Tao soul, Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. Although he didn't know what it was, he understood what it represented. After pondering for a long time, Wang Lin slowly asked, "You won't regret it?" Shen Gonghu immediately responded respectfully, "Junior will definitely not regret it." Wang Lin no longer wasted any more time. He waved his hand and Shen Gonghu's Tao soul flew over. He devoured it and it entered his origin soul. After putting away the Tao soul, Wang Lin calmly asked, "Why did you come here?" Shen Gonghu bitterly smiled. The Thunder Celestial Realm is about to open, so Junior wanted to borrow this place to cultivate some origin energy. Wang Lin's expression was neutral while he felt Shen Gonghu's Tao soul. This person's domain was similar to Ling Qianho's, but there were differences. However, because Wang Lin didn't understand Shen Gonghu's life experiences, he wasn't able to get the full picture. How long before the Thunder Celestial Realm opens? Wang Lin spoke calmly and his eyes closed slightly. Shen Gonghu respectfully said, 10 more years before the Thunder Celestial Realm opens. Then one can use the Thunder Furnace to enter. Wang Lin pondered a bit. He was very interested in the Thunder Celestial Realm. When he entered the Rain Celestial Realm, he couldn't absorb any celestial jades. However, at this moment, he could absorb a large amount. This trip to the Thunder Celestial Realm would allow his cultivation to reach its completion. The Celestial Realm is broken. What is the restriction to entering the Celestial Realm? Wang Lin's eyes were bright as he looked at Shen Gonghu. Shen Gonghu was startled. After hesitating for a moment, he made some speculations based on Wang Lin's words. Wang Lin's eyes were calm as he calmly said, "This old man is not someone from the All-Heaven Star system." The random thoughts in Shen Gonghu's mind disappeared. Almost at the moment Wang Lin spoke, he came to the same answer. In his mind, only this kind of origin fitted Wang Lin's status. "Senior, my All-Heaven Star system's Thunder Celestial Realm isn't too seriously damaged. The limitation on cultivation is late-stage ascendant. However, the Thunder Celestial Palace has a method for second-step cultivators to enter. The premise is that they don't use strength beyond early stage of Nirvana Scrya." Wang Lin nodded and then asked a few more details. This Thunder Celestial Realm was similar to the Rain Celestial Realm. After all, countless years ago, the Rain and Thunder Celestial Realms were both passages to the ancient Celestial Realm. After getting information, Wang Lin calmly looked at Shen Gonghu and said, "Forget it. You can stay here and cultivate, but don't disturb this old man." Shen Gonghu quickly nodded. He had come here with the purpose to cultivate, but now he was seriously injured and his cultivation level had dropped. It would be difficult to find a better place within just 10 years. Also, just healing his injuries would take a lot of time. It was possible that he would only manage to recover when the Thunder Celestial Realm opened. After Wang Lin allowed him to stay, he immediately felt gratitude in his heart. In truth, he would not normally feel like this, but he had already subconsciously surrendered in his heart. He was completely awed by Wang Lin's gaze. Wang Lin withdrew his gaze and no longer paid attention to Shen Gonghu. He turned around and walked toward the depths of the Thunder Lake. At the beginning, Shen Gonghu didn't notice, but soon he sighed. This was indeed someone with a higher cultivation level, and his thunder was not ordinary. With his cultivation, he could only go 50 steps deep and not half a step further. However, his gaze followed Wang Lin and saw Wang Lin walk 100 steps into the Thunder Lake before sitting down. Shen Gonghu took a deep breath and his eyes filled with reverence. Due to being injured, he was only able to take 10 steps before he couldn't proceed further. At this point, he quickly sat down and began cultivating the Thunder Origin spell. His Thunder Beast also carefully took a few steps in. Its large head would occasionally turn toward Wang Lin and its eye would fill with fear. It was a spirit beast, so its instincts made it fear Wang Lin's gaze even more. That gaze had made the Thunder Beast almost lose its mind. It felt like it was returning back to its origin. It had never felt something like this before. Even now it was still terrified of Wang Lin. Just as it was about to lie down, a roar came from far away. Wang Lin's thunder beast slowly walked over, and when it walked by Shen Gonghu's thunder beast, Wang Lin's thunder beast gave it a vicious gaze. Shen Gonghu's thunder beast backed up and no longer dared to approach. Its pride was completely shattered by Wang Lin's gaze. Otherwise, with how it was about to grow its horn, it wouldn't have yielded like this. The silver-horned thunder beast shook its head and cheerfully walked by. It walked 10 steps into the thunder lake and lied down to absorb the thunder. In the distance, the celestial guard was sitting on an asteroid. Its eyes were flashing and would occasionally look at Shen Gonghu. 100 steps was Wang Lin's limit, and this was only because he had seen the third step, which caused his soul to evolve. Looking at the thunder, he felt like he could vaguely see strange changes similar to when he used the heavenly chop. When he noticed this change, Wang Lin was able to take 100 steps before he couldn't move any further. He sat down and began absorbing thunder into his body. The thunder origin spell extracted the thunder and constantly refined the origin energy from it. As time passed, large amounts of thunder gathered from all directions and was absorbed into his body. As the thunder origin spell operated, it slowly drew out the origin energy from the thunder and nourished his origin soul. A very comfortable feeling slowly emerged from Wang Lin's body. When Wang Lin had reached ascendant due to Ju Yi's ascendant crystal, so Wang Lin had more origin energy than most cultivators. This meant that his path was very smooth, but the use of the heavenly chop and the battle with Thunder Daoist caused him to consume too much origin energy. As a result, he was at the edge of his cultivation level dropping. Origin energy was something that was very difficult to recover for first-step cultivators. If Wang Lin didn't have a Thunder origin soul, he would have regretted all his life. As the origin energy entered Wang Lin and nourished his origin soul slowly recovered. This process was very slow. Wang Lin's hand formed a seal and then started shaking. A large ripple of thunder immediately spread out and 10 times the amount of thunder instantly charged toward Wang Lin. Even he couldn't help but feel numbness. Wang Lin took a deep breath and immediately began refining. Wang Lin's action caused a series of explosions that awakened Shen Gonghu. He took a deep breath and opened his eyes. However, when he saw Wang Lin, his pupils suddenly shrank. He is worthy of being a senior. He dared to attract so much thunder into his body at 100 steps. If I was in that position, my flesh wouldn't be able to bear it, and even my origin soul would be damaged. Shen Gonghu's eyes lit up and were filled with excitement. It looks like I need to work harder. Shen Gonghu's eyes lit up and then he attracted more thunder into his body. His body trembled and immediately began to absorb it. Wang Lin activated the Thunder Origin spell and 10 times more thunder than before entered his body. Under the increased amount of thunder, the origin energy inside his origin soul gradually began to recover faster. However, it was still far from completely recovering. After all, only a sliver of origin energy could be extracted from every strand of thunder, and after being refined, even less was left for consumption. Time slowly passed, and in the blink of an eye, 2 years went by. In 2 years, Wang Lin remained almost motionless, but instead of 10 times the normal thunder, he was absorbing 20 times the normal thunder. He was like a humanoid piece of metal that was thrown into the thunder lake and attracted thunder like crazy. As for Shen Gonghu, he worked even harder during these 2 years, and his injuries gradually recovered. During these 2 years, Wang Lin had observed Shen Gonghu. This person also cultivated the Thunder Origin spell. However, Wang Lin was only able to absorb a trace from every strand of thunder, while Shen Gonghu was able to absorb 10 times more. As he observed and gradually discovered some clues, this had a lot to do with how much origin energy one had. The more origin energy one had, the more origin energy could be absorbed. It was this characteristic that made the disparity between each level in the second step so great. During these 2 years, Wang Lin engraved everything he saw about the third step into his heart and often comprehended them, so he had some harvest. On this day, he stood up and walked toward the center of the Thunder Lake. Snapping sounds filled the area after each step. The change attracted Shengonghu's attention. He opened his eyes and looked at Wang Lin. Not only had the excitement in his eyes not lessened, there were even glimmers of expectation. Wang Lin didn't pay any attention to Shengonghu and looked toward the center of the Thunder Lake. This Thunder Lake was too big. Although it had shrunk by half due to the heaven-defying bead, it was still shocking. At this moment, Wang Lin was only considered to be at the edge and was too far away from the center. The thunder in the Thunder Lake was naturally more powerful the closer it was to the center, which was the spot with the highest concentration of origin energy. It could even said that the origin energy inside 100 strands of thunder at the edge couldn't compare to the origin energy inside one strand of thunder at the center. After pondering for a while, Wang Lin raised his feet and stepped forward. His heart was calm and even contained a hint of caution. However, not far away, Shengonghu was extremely excited as he looked at Wang Lin and thought, I'm finally able to see a spell from Senior. This is an once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I must watch carefully and perhaps I'll gain some enlightenment. He was very excited, not any less than when he broke through the first step and entered the illusory yin stage. In fact, his excitement was several times more intense than that time. Aside from the fact that this place was suitable for healing his injuries, the other reason he wanted to cultivate it here was to follow Wang Lin. He hoped to obtain pointers from Wang Lin, or even see spells from a distance. He waited for 2 years and now he finally got the opportunity. Without any hesitation, Shengonghu dispersed the thunder around his body. He watched at Wang Lin's every move, ready to firmly remember everything he witnessed. Even the armored thunder beast raised its head and looked at Wang Lin in the distance. Its eyes were filled with awe, and there was even a glimmer of expectation. Only Wang Lin's silver-horned thunder beast rolled its eyes and didn't even look over. It sleepily lied there and absorbed the thunder. Only by going deeper to absorb thunder can I speed things up. If I stay on the edge, even though I'm absorbing 10 times the thunder and the effect looks the same, in reality there is a huge difference. Wang Lin silently pondered as he walked toward the center of the Thunder Lake. This step caused a ripple when it landed on the Thunder Lake. It attracted countless bolts of thunder. Wang Lin's mind was focused and his eyes gave off lightning. His origin soul was like his heart right now. Although it wasn't pounding, it pulsed thunder that filled his body. His body was made of thunder, so thunder filled his body without any resistance as this origin soul released more. The thunder moved through his body and created a series of explosions. This thunder echoed inside his body. Wang Lin moved forward and took another step. A thunderstorm immediately appeared inside the Thunder Lake, attracting large amounts of thunder. The thunderbolts fell and made it look like a real thunder prison that prevented all life from moving forward. There was a powerful might of thunder inside this thunder. Compared to this, the might of thunder inside Wang Lin's origin soul was like comparing a firefly to the bright moon. This place is very strange. The strength of the thunder here is simply too amazing. Wang Lin's feet landed, causing a loud series of explosions that echoed across the Thunder Lake. He didn't stop and continued moving forward 10 steps. Every step he took triggered a loud explosion even more fierce than thunder. It was as if the entire world was trembling. In particular, Wang Lin's speed was very fast, so he took 10 steps almost instantaneously. The thunderous rumbling echoed across space. This shock set off a huge thunder shockwave. At this moment, it looked like the world was covered in lightning, and it was a very shocking scene. Wang Lin couldn't take one more step. His current location was still at the edge of the Thunder Lake, but his origin soul couldn't bear it anymore. It felt like if he took one more step, his origin soul would be injured. My origin soul has devoured half of an ancient thunder dragon and my body is made of thunder. My entire being is almost no different from real thunder, but even so, I have to stop here. This thunder here is simply too powerful. Wang Lin felt reluctance in his heart and began to ponder. Not far away, Shengong frowned and his eyes revealed a hint of disappointment. The reverence in his eyes died down as he looked at Wang Lin and thought, this isn't right. With Senior's cultivation, why did he stop there? Could it be? His eyes lit up. Even the thunder beast beside him was watching closely, and the fear in its eyes dissipated slightly. The silver-horned thunder beast didn't move and continued to cultivate as if it already knew this result. As Wang Lin stood there longer, Shen Gonghu's disappointment became even stronger and he let out a sigh. He wanted to see a powerful spell of the person he pledged to, but unfortunately, he saw nothing. This strong contrast caused the powerful reverence he had for Wang Lin to die down a lot. His extinguished Tao heart was also slowly recovering. Although 100 steps is an uncrossable gap for me right now, once my cultivation breaks through to the Nirvana Skriya stage, I will definitely be able to achieve a mere 100 steps. However, as a senior, how could he only be this strong? Shen Gonghu's expression turned gloomy and he began to observe carefully. Wang Lin looked at the Thunder Lake before him. At this moment, it was as if he had forgotten everything. Everything around him disappeared, and it was as if the Thunder Lake was the only thing remaining. Just like when he was outside the gate and looking into the gap, into the heaven-defying bead space. Just like back then, he even forgot about his own body and looked only at the endless Thunder Lake. After an unknown amount of time, after forgetting about time, forgetting everything, Wang Lin's body moved. He casually walked forward. This step was very casual, but it seemed to fall just at the right time. A bolt of thunder just happened to appear right under his feet. It looked as if he had stepped on that bolt of thunder. Shen Gonghu's originally diminishing reverence and gloomy expression was startled. He seemed to have gained enlightenment but couldn't understand it. The armored thunder beast was also startled. The beast's eyes narrowed as it looked at Wang Lin. Wang Lin had no expression, it remained neutral. His eyes were empty as he took another step. Just like last time, the moment his foot landed, there was a bolt of thunder for him to step on. Shortly after, Wang Lin took another step. From beginning to end, he was extremely casual, as if he wasn't walking toward the Thunder Lake but into his own backyard. With every step he took, there would be a bolt of thunder under his feet. Shen Gonghu's eyes opened fiercely. His eyes were filled with aghast and he sucked in a breath of cold air. The disappearing reverence showed signs of returning and the disappointment immediately disappeared. As he stared at Wang Lin, the aghast in his eyes became stronger and stronger. In his eyes, one time might be accidental, even twice or 3 times it could still be considered accidental or lucky. However, a bolt of thunder would appear to support every step Wang Lin took. This was no longer something that words, accident, and luck could explain. In his eyes, this was something completely impossible. This was thoroughly beyond his imagination. At this moment, in his eyes, Wang Lin had become the master of all the thunder in the world. The strange behavior of the Thunder Lake was clearly welcoming Wang Lin. Welcoming, yes, it's welcoming him. The aghast in Shen Gonghu's eyes became even stronger and filled his body. At this moment, a sense of excitement raged through his body like a storm. He had waited for 2 years to see spells like this. The armored thunder beast beside him suddenly raised its head. The feeling of awe appeared once more inside this thunder beast. The thunder beast's comprehension for thunder was far above its master's. In its view, the Thunder Lake wasn't welcoming Wang Lin, it was that Wang Lin's every step was landing on a vein of the Thunder Lake. Not far away, the silver-horned thunder beast that never looked over and seemed to not want to even look at Wang Lin suddenly stood up. Its huge eyes were filled with never-before-seen horror as it stared directly at Wang Lin. In Wang Lin's eyes, what he saw was no longer the Thunder Lake but rays of light that would appear and disappear. Every time his foot landed, he would always land on the shining light. He seemed to have gained enlightenment in his heart, as if this was the most correct method. He took step after step and seemed to have forgotten everything. Shen Gonghu's body trembled and he didn't dare to blink. He didn't want to miss even a moment of what was happening. He couldn't even believe everything that was happening before him. Wang Lin moved faster and faster until he only left an afterimagine, but that bolt of thunder would always appear under his feet every time. In the end, Wang Lin's body gave off a bright flash of thunder and then a violent thunderstorm was set off around him. He was like a solitary boat that was calmly and firmly drifting among the raging waves of thunder. Too terrifying. This is real a thunder spell. This is real thunder. The reverence in Shengonghu's eyes increased once more, and his heart started pounding as if it was going to burst out of his chest. His reverence was several times stronger than it was 2 years ago. His reverence for Wang Lin reached such a new height that it could be considered blind belief. The thunder beast beside him shook violently, and the awe it felt was even more intense. Its feeling for thunder was much more profound than Shengonghu's. It thought that Wang Lin was the origin of thunder, and the awe from the depths of its soul made it completely surrender. At this moment, if Wang Lin asked it to attack Shengonghu, it would comply without any hesitation. Wang Lin's silver-horned thunder beast was even more shocked. It felt disbelief as it stared at Wang Lin. Its body trembled from the memories in its inheritance. At this moment, Wang Lin stopped and the strange scene before him disappeared. This state came without a trace and disappeared without a trace. At the moment his body stopped, Wang Lin awakened. His eyes were filled with confusion, and it took him a long time to gradually recover. This caused his understanding of thunder to become more profound. He knew that everything he saw was related to the comprehension he had toward the third step. Although this didn't increase his offensive power, it was far more important than any celestial spell or treasure. It was like an ant that had seen the human world and saw the magnificent cities. After seeing those incredible scenes and returning back to its cave, the ant would notice the similarities between the two worlds. Wang Lin was currently feeling like this. When he woke up, he found himself in the inner part of the Thunder Lake. Although this was still far from the center, the distance could no longer be described in steps. The thunder around here was far more dense than the thunder at the edge. All of the thunder here contained large amounts of origin energy. Wang Lin sat down and absorbed one strand. This strand of thunder entered his body and immediately caused him to tremble as if a powerful force had just shocked him. His entire body felt numb and even his origin soul began to slow down as if it was in water. Shengonghu withdrew his gaze. His reverence for Wang Lin had reached a peak. He had gained some enlightenment form before, so he was very excited. Just as he was about to sit down and cultivate on this enlightenment, he suddenly frowned. His eyes became cold and he looked at the distant asteroid field. Shortly after, a ray of purple light flew over. There was a wooden sword inside this light, and a person was standing on the wooden sword. "This place sure is lively." A mocking voice slowly arrived. This video will end here.